And what I normally do is once I record it, I'll um, do it on YouTube and I'll send you the link.
Awesome. Thanks.
No worries. Okay, so I'm going to pull up a product that for the inventory that has like different colors so that you can kind of see how that inventory looks. So I chose this product because it comes in several colors. So when it comes to the inventory, you can see right here, it shows the total inventory. That's for every, all the colors together. Then when I click on this little icon, it's going to give me a breakout of the colors. So then it shows how much of each color the supplier has. This particular supplier is also providing expected dates. So let's say for teal, they're expecting 15,000 roughly around October the 17th. If you can provide this information, it's extremely helpful for the distributors because if this still falls within their timeline on being able to get the product, they may go ahead and stay with you and order that product and go ahead and propose it to their customer. It also provides the update so the distributors can see, okay, this is current. I know this particular supplier updates in real time. I do have some suppliers that may update only once a day. That again, that's totally up to you guys and what best fits your model. Now, when it comes to the order status, the nice thing about how our status works is it's the status information only. So it's not going to show what was ordered, how much was ordered, who ordered it, where it shipped, or any of that information. The way the distributors access that is under each supplier, there's a My Supplier Info tab. This is unique to the distributor's login. So distributors are only able to see their own orders. They cannot see every single order that you guys are providing to Sage. On this tab right here where it says My Customer Number, they put in their Gordon Sinclair number. So whatever account number that you have for them, that's what they're going to put in right here. Then under order status, this can be set up however you need it to be set up to fit again with your business. This particular supplier simply puts the statuses, oh, it's received, oh, it's in production. And then they provide a tracking number. The nice thing about the order tracking is the distributors can also set up alerts. It's kind of like an Amazon experience. So every time their status changes, they'll be alerted of that change. If Gordon is logged into Sage Chat, which I highly encourage doing, they can also chat with you live from this page. So if they had a question about a status or maybe the tracking number wasn't working or something to that effect, they would be able to click on that and ask that question from you.
How can we access the chat? I think I tried to download it. It's not like a web app. It's like something you have to download.
It's a software.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then you need a login. You need a login to
the chat. Nope, you download the chat. Yeah. Like I have mine. Okay. Don't read my chats. So this is what it'll look like. So if you have, let's say you have 3 of your people logged in, they're going to be listed right here automatically. So you guys can also chat amongst yourself as well.
Okay.
When a chat comes in, you'll get a little notification that kind of comes up in the lower part.
Okay.
You want to make sure that if you leave or you're not going to be responding, that you do not disturb yourself before you leave.
Right.
Because if you receive a chat and you don't respond, it's going to affect the visibility of your products.
Okay.
I want to show you another order status because I want you to see the versatility that you can do with order status. I have a supplier that chooses to provide a lot of information when they do order status. Here it is. So they also provide little details and comments next to each status. So you can kind of see what your versatility is with regards to order status. You can provide as much information as you want to. I always recommend providing as much detail as you can. That way it doesn't leave any questions. You're putting all that information out there to the distributor. It helps the distributor out a lot too. And then again, they provide the tracking numbers.
Carmen, it seems that these are, this is information that we would add using a different endpoint than the ones that we've been dealing with right now, right?
They're separate modules. Yeah, they're separate. Everything is separate. It's all the same endpoint. You still use the same, let me open that up. Hold on a second. I wasn't prepared for that.
No, that's all right.
I hate it when I go directly from one call to the next. We always recommend doing inventory and order status first, period. One, it has the biggest impact on your product visibility. And two, they're the two easiest to integrate. So it gives you a feel of how our integration works. So in the developer's API, there are two separate modules. So here's inventory and here's order status.
Mm-hmm.
So under the inventory, under the notes, this is how you can break your inventory out by color, by size, by shape. And if you have a separate, I have some that break it out by warehouse. They have multiple warehouses. And then here's the sample code. The top section is pretty much the same as your product data. You just have a different service ID. And then you have your requests for inventory.
Mm-hmm.
The post is exactly the same. You post into the same place.
Yeah, so these are the ones that we've been working on right now. But what you were showing us earlier was more
Oh,
to,
that's how the distributor finds it. Yes.
Yeah, order
Yep.
status and different information that we would upload with different endpoints, not the ones that we already work with.
Yeah, that's actually how, once you finish your integration, that's how the customer is going to see it, is what I was showing you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, so now with regards to product data, again, what I'm showing you is how the customer is going to see the product data information. I'm a big picture person, so it always helps me when I see the end. Okay, so all of those fields that you're working with as far as when it comes to the product data, this is how it's going to lay out and how it actually looks to the customer. So you have your images, you have the product name and the item number, you have your category. All of this information in the center, this is automatically populated in there on every product. You have your descriptions, your pricing. You're putting in the retail price with the pricing codes. The colors the product is available in. You have your themes. Now, the thing about the themes, most suppliers don't have themes. That's just not something that you have in your system. No big deal. Just don't push that in the code and we can go in and put the fields in. So you would totally leave that out of your code and we'll just go in and put that in.
Are the themes like categories or something like that?
Sort of. They're like subcategories in a way.
Yeah, it looks like the breadcrumbs that you see in the websites.
Maybe, yeah. We have a specific list of themes.
I don't think we would have somewhere on the website. And it's required. You said that, right?
Yes, they are. At least one theme is required per product. It also helps with the searching of your products.
Mm,
Every single field that is listed on your product is searchable.
okay.
So when a distributor searches by keywords, it also looks in the themes.
Okay.
Yeah, it might help like SEO techniques so that they find the products more often.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar to the keywords. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like you said, Carmen, I think in a previous email, it's fine if it's empty and it's not in NetSuite, it's something I need to know. And every time we have new product, I need to go back. If the theme is empty, I need to fill it in.
Yeah.
And I know you sent me a file with so many errors and I need to work on that. Like there's so much, which I'm not surprised. I mean, showing clearance in the product description, I think they did that as a workaround because they didn't have the flag. Now I have the flag on the website, so I've been removing it. It's just so much to clean up.
Yeah, because specials are supposed to be listed in the specials area.
Right,
There's a
right.
specific, and those have to be done manually. There's not a way to do that with the API.
Okay, yeah. I need to do that too because to put the clearance and stuff like that.
And that's going to again help your visibility because it tags the product in Sage and distributors can search by that.
Okay.
You also have your options area here. And I know on some of your products, you guys have a lot of options. And that was the biggest issue, was making sure the options were listed correctly when you guys tried to integrate previously. And the people that I was working with did not understand. So before I leave today, I'm going to try to pick a couple of your products that have a few options, set those up correctly, and send you screenshots so you can kind of see how that's supposed to look.
Okay.
That's one of the main reasons that we set up a test account. That way you're testing in the test account, you're not pushing anything live. Normally, I tell people whenever they're setting up the integration to only push the deltas, don't push all the product data. But since your product data is not accurate in a lot of ways, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say I think we should set it up to where it pushes all fresh new product data. And then after we get everything set up the way it needs to be set up, then you'll only push the deltas. So you'll only push the changes, which normally is just pricing.
Right.
So you won't be pushing all the fields. Pablo, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, we would do like a whole refresh of the product data, put it all up, and then kind of switch the algorithm so that instead of uploading all the product data, we would just upload whatever changes that
Perfect.
it
Or
should
new
be
products, then you would have to upload all the data. But yeah, that's kind of out of the norm for what I normally recommend to people. But like I said, we want to get your product data right. We want to
Right.
make sure that the distributors are seeing all of the options that are available and they're listed correctly, because that's great upsells for the distributors. They can say, oh, look, we can do this on that product, or we can do that on this product. So I think that's really important to do that. So like I said, I'm going to set up a couple of products, 2 to 3 products with the options. I will send over screenshots, Pablo, to you so you can kind of see. And I'll let you know which items they are, so that you can kind of see that.
all right.
So that
I would appreciate it. Yeah.
at least it'll be kind of like the base for us to get started on building that product data the way it needs to be built. And I really honestly think that once we get your product data looking good, correct in the system, it's really going to help your sales through Sage. Because then your products are going to come up correctly in searches. They're going to have all the right data. So I think this is kind of a really good start point for us, with regards to your data. And it's kind of good timing because, with PPAI in January and things like that, I think we're hitting some good timing as well. Do you guys have any additional questions or anything?
From my end, I think we have a couple of challenges. I think the first one and the easiest would be just to make sure that we know what each field means. Because, for example, we were struggling to understand what the themes were, but once I see this, it kind of makes sense for us. Oh, it's referring
Well,
to some sort of
I
category.
have a chart that I'll send over to you as well that details out each field. It also tells you what the character limit is, gives you a description of the field and kind of examples. I will email that over today as well. Yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to show this to you, because I know that if you're not familiar with Sage and you're not familiar with kind of how the promotional products industry works, you're just like, okay, we don't know what all this means.
Yeah, and beyond that, because we've been working with Gordon Sinclair for a while already, it's the fact that the system, and that leads me to the second point, where the system might not have all of this stuff or
Right.
is not currently properly set up. So we have to start to think how we're going to set up in the system, how we're going to set it right, and then how we're going to transfer all that information to Sage itself. So it's like two
Right,
different things.
Mm.
right.
Yeah,
Totally
which
understand that.
that's why Pablo, like for even with ESP, which is similar to Sage, they created so many new fields in NetSuite to then send it over. And we have, under like NetSuite, when you go to Web Store, we have a few fields for Sage. So maybe sometimes it's something, I don't know, for the imprint method. I know we had issues because it's like so many levels. You have like to click on the IMC and then you have to click again on the specific imprint method to then access the run charges. I know this sometimes it's like complex to get it from there and like send it to someone. So like there's issues like that in NetSuite.
Now, and also when you come to the imprint method, if you offer many different imprint methods, I don't recommend listing them all in Sage.
Okay.
I recommend listing maybe your top two and then providing a note down here that says, call for additional imprint methods or see our website for additional imprint methods. Because in some cases I say more information is better, but I think when you start getting into those really complicated imprint methods, it just is so confusing to the distributors. It's confusing to their customers because if it doesn't say pad print or screen print and you have your own name for it, they
Right.
have no clue what that is. So you want to list maybe your top 2 to 3 imprint methods that you sell a lot of, and then just put a note in there that says, either see our website for additional imprint options or call or see our website for additional imprint options. That way they know, okay, they do have additional imprint options. Let's see what they have available. But yeah, I think it does get a little bit more complicated. Plus we don't have a way to list multiple setup charges. And sometimes when you get into some of these other higher end imprint methods, you have different setup charges. And then it gets a little bit more confusing when it kind of comes to that.
So how
So
can Pablo do that? Like, because let's say if we have an item that has only 2 imprint method, it might be fine, but it might be different charges anyway.
yeah, what you have to do is whatever main price that you're listing, let's say your main price is your screen print, you would list that setup charge here. And let's say pad print has a different setup charge. That's where in the comment field, you're going to have to put a note that says additional charges may apply. I have made a recommendation and we are looking at rechanging this area, but I cannot give you a time frame on it. Don't even know when it'll happen. but it doesn't affect just you. I know there's several suppliers that have different imprint methods.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. So right now, the only thing that we can do is say additional charges may apply, and just kind of move forward with that. And hopefully, I'm hoping next year they'll kind of get on redoing that area. Because I know that we have talked to the development team and talked to them about some ideas and things like that. Because like I said, it doesn't just affect you. And a lot of times, like if somebody can screen print or embroider on a product,
Right.
there's definitely going to be two different setup charges
Mhm.
on how that works. But for now, that's kind of how it is. And like I said, I will go through a couple of your products and set them up so that you can see how those are set up and get a better feel for it.
That's great.
Carmen, do you think we can see the submissions that we already sent to see what parts we still need to, address?
I'm sure. Let me open that up real quick. Oh, and I had a question on this. This price at $6, is that just for one glass?
Good question. I don't know on top of my head.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
have to check.
I'm
Yeah,
just wondering because if
I
it's
think
for
it's a
four,
set. If it's a set, it should be for all four, but
yeah, then it's not listed correctly. If it's a set, then there's another field that is on the back end that says pieces per unit.
okay.
The pieces per unit would need to be 4.
Let me check.
And I'm assuming that the minimum is 48 sets, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let me pull up the test account real quick.
I also wanted to ask you if there is a way that we can access, some of these screens, because it might be a little bit troublesome for us that every time we submit something, we have to get back to you to see if the product went right this time.
Unfortunately, no, there's not a way for you to see this area. Um, this this is actually only for distributors. And trust, I know it would be helpful, and I've actually told them that. I know, and I can recommend it again, but at this time, you're still going to have to just ask me.
All right.
Now, on this particular product, so travel kits would not be a category. It's just a mask. There's no kit involved. And it says that it's sold in boxes of 2,000. So let's see here. Let me pull my calculator up.
Yeah, it seems to me like we have to fix data issues as much as maybe integration issues.
Yeah. So the way this would be listed is the quantity would be 500 and pieces per unit would be 2,000.
Mhm.
So that's how that would actually be set up. And then this one is sold blank. So for the imprint information, you need to have blank, blank listed. There's a field that you can put that.
What is it? What is that field?
It's called it says decoration included, I
Mhm.
believe. Or no, there's two. There's no decoration offered, which you would also check this product, and no decoration included, you would also check that box or that field.
I have another doubt because it seems like when we see the specification in your website, it seems just like a few fields to fill out. But then you previously sent us an email with an Excel file that had multiple fields that we didn't see before. So I was wondering how they both relate to each other, and in
Well,
order
the
to see.
spreadsheet, well, the integration and the spread, well, okay. So the spreadsheet has every single field on it for every product, except for the options area. So it's not on that spreadsheet. Integration has every single field.
It seems like the opposite, because if you look at the endpoint specification, you wouldn't see all those fields
Well, these are
documented.
also broke out in different fields. So instead of one field right here, it's, 6 times or 7 times 4 different fields. And the same thing with the options. Because each one of the options can hold up to 50 items.
But for example, about themes, I think that's not a field that we can see in the endpoint specification, but we did see it in
Yeah,
the
you
Excel.
can. Yeah, you
Is
can.
it,
Yep,
maybe,
it certainly is.
can we
Sure.
look at it? Or I don't know, Gustavo, if you can give us an example of fields that we saw in one place and not the
I
other.
think the only field that's not in the connection is what's it called? Social good programs is not listed in this field, but there's themes right there.
Gustavo, can you give us an example of fields that we saw in one place and not the other?
Hello, can you
Yes.
listen me?
Mhm.
Okay. The problem that we are having here is that, like, for example, Teams, we don't have like a file in NetSuite to get information. So we can see it in the API, but we don't know where to get that
Yeah,
information.
yeah, it looks
That
like
is
more
like
like a
the
data
problem.
problem.
Right,
Yeah,
we don't have the info in NetSuite. It's fine. We were saying like we don't.
Here's a list of our themes, but that's not a required field. If you just not put it in the code, we'll go in and manually
Right.
put it in. So don't even worry about the themes. Pretend it's not even there.
okay. All right, so I guess we have to try to fill as much of these in fields as we can, and then get back to you so that we can see how the product listing is looking, and if it's looking any better, or if you have further recommendations, and you let us know which parts we should improve, and
Of
then
course.
we can.
And a lot of times what I'll do is if I see that there's areas, I'll actually go in and fix those areas so that I'll show you that. And then you can also do like a product download from the test account after I fix it and see how it falls into the fields.
Cecile, I think one way we can do this is that once we have these screens that Carmen's showing us, maybe we can kind of take screenshots of NetSuite and put it right next to the field where we're supposed to get the information from, and then if it's not set up right now, then we can discuss to see how we can
Right.
set it up, right?
But this, I think I sent it to you originally. Like I think Carmen's. I mean, I think you sent me a PDF of this as an export.
Well,
Let me check.
as of now, Carmen, can you show us which fields are the ones that are not working out right now? Which portions?
On this particular product,
Yeah, the one that we submitted. I don't know if this is the one.
yeah, this is the only one that you guys submitted.
Okay.
I mean, really the only thing on this particular product is your quantities and pieces per unit is not done correctly, and
Mhm.
you've got it in a wrong category. It shouldn't be in the travel kits category.
So once we fix this, we should be good with the product
Yeah,
upload.
and I'm not sure why you have the same image listed multiple times.
Okay. Okay,
I
makes
mean,
sense.
yeah. The only reason you would want to have multiple images is if this comes in different colors.
Yeah, makes sense. And how
Yeah.
about the inventory one? Can you click on the button?
Oh, yeah. Well, the only reason you would click on the button is if you had different colors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you would see
then it would break out the different colors. Yeah.
the.
Otherwise this only comes in black, so this is how many you have.
Okay,
I mean,
which
can you do
is
a test product that maybe has multiple
like
colors?
multiple color.
Yeah.
Okay, we will do that also.
Yeah.
Just after fixing this one, because it seems like there are a couple of things to fix, maybe three
Yeah,
or
and
four.
as long as you don't put the themes in as part of your code,
Yeah.
we can actually manually add that in there. So, but if you have it in your code and have it blank, anytime I add anything in there, it's going to delete it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Understand. Yeah, maybe we can set up the themes like something. I don't know. Can we set up like a general category for now, and then when the data team get to improve the themes for each product, then we can start submitting the real ones.
I would just say leave it blank.
Just leave it blank.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you don't want to put a product in a wrong theme.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because trust me, distributors find that and they send us emails constantly when things are wrong.
Mm-hmm. Do you have an idea how to properly classify the themes? I mean, do you have like already a list online that we can use?
Well, yeah, there's part of the API is the list.
It's a different endpoint, right?
You can download our list of themes and you can
Mm-hmm.
download our list of categories.
All right, makes sense.
So
Yeah,
as
but
an example for this mask, sorry, I've got so many things open on my computer today.
no worries.
So for this mask, we have a COVID-19 theme, we have a health theme, we have a safety theme, and we have a medical theme.
Mm-hmm.
So this product would go in all of those themes. So the themes are specific to the product.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were looking at this glass, so it's barware, beverage, drinking. Summer's kind of a stretch, but it could work.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, so yeah, this is looking really good. I'm starting to feel like we're clearing up all the doubts that we have.
Oh, good.
Yeah, thank you for your time, actually. And also, well, we would have to talk with the data team because it seems to me like there are going to be a lot of fixes that we have to do there. For example, these images, the reason why they're repeating probably is because they're just there for some reason. So we have to delete them so that we don't submit them, um, you know, several times and things like that. And then also it seems like the inventory quantities. What do you think about that? Is it possible that we submit that quantity, or it looks weird?
It's you probably submitted that, or maybe you submitted a bigger number than what our system would take,
Yeah, but
and
does
it
that make
only
sense? Like to
that may
submit
be the
that?
biggest, yeah, that may be the biggest number that we'll take.
Because I'm sure that for some of the products that like there's unlimited quantity, we're gonna want to submit just the biggest number that there is. But is that a common practice?
Yes, it is.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, I have quite a
Uh,
few, or if it's like a made on demand product,
mhm,
like you said that it's unlimited, you could submit like a big number.
mhm.
But definitely if it's something like this particular product, you definitely want to submit the actual inventory and break it out by the colors.
Okay. Okay, makes sense. All right. Gustavo, do you have any other question that you'd like to make, or is it all clear for you on your end?
No, I think that the question that I could have is about some NetSuite information. So
Yeah, but I think that that should be with Cecile and the
Yeah.
data probably. So we won't bother you, Carmen, with that. All right. I
No
think we're
worries.
good on your end. Cecile, do you have any other question or we're good?
No, I mean, I'm just like, yeah, I have a concern about the imprint method. How you guys are gonna know, like, if we can only show like the top two, or I mean, it would be like almost like just one, because if you can't display different charges,
Hmm.
I just wonder, are you gonna code that to like pick the top one? I don't think we have anything like that in the system.
Yeah, actually for the imprints, Kevin, do you have an example of another posting where it shows imprints so that we have an idea how should that look?
Let me think.
Sorry if I caught you off guard there.
No, you're good. It's Friday. My brain's not working.
Yeah.
That's
I've had a
so
busy week.
I'm thinking that something that we can do, Cecile, is to add the like some sort of like a flag on the imprint method and kind of do it per product so we can, flag the most popular imprint methods for each product. So we upload that since we can't upload all of them. So again, we would let the data team pick the ones that they believe are the most interesting ones, and then we would just upload those to the product feed.
Right.
Okay, so here's kind of an example. They don't have it exactly right, but they do heat transfer and they do silk screen. So the price that they have listed up here is for silk screen. Then for heat, actually no, it's the same price. Hold on, that's not a good example. Okay, it would basically be similar to this. So the price that they have up here is either heat transfer or silk screen for one color, one location. Then they offer extra location at 50 cents.
Right.
And then they've got, additional setup charges may apply, call for details listed on there.
Okay.
I'm trying to find another one because I know at one time, let's see what the pen has. Oh, that's the only silk screen. Okay, this one's, well, they don't have it broke out either. Must be not a different cost. Let's see what this one is. Engraving. No. I will set one of your products up. When I look at your products today, I'll set one of those up with additional imprint so you can kind of see how it's supposed to lay out.
Okay, that would help so that we can accommodate the information in that way. We can use it like a template, maybe.
Yeah, I will definitely do that. And I'll send you a screenshot of how it looks to the customer.
All right, awesome. And don't forget the URL for the YouTube video so that we can access it later on.
Will
Sorry
do.
that we left a lot of homework for you, Carmen.
No, no
Hopefully we can
worries.
get through this as quick as
I'll put it
possible.
on my to-do list.
All right. Anyway, we can still progress with the information that you just gave us. So you take your time to compile all of that, and I think we'll be good to go.
And if you guys want to have another meeting at some time, just let me know. I have some of my suppliers that kind of do regular meetings with me to go over information. So just whatever will work for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Carmen and Cecile, for your time.
Awesome. You
Yeah.
guys have a great weekend.
You too.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.